Hello, good morning. All right. So, welcome, and welcome back for those who have been around. So, as you can see, I am out at the park doing my walk. If you watched my previous video, you saw that I am trying to lose a little bit of weight, since I do have to wait a little bit between my transfer. So I am out here at the park going for a nice little walk. I just got back from San Francisco and I'm a little bit jet lagged, I will say that, but I forced myself to get up this morning because I really did want to sleep in, and I don't have to go into the office until 1 p.m. today. But I said, no, I'm going to get my behind up and I'm going to go for a walk. So, of course, as you can see, my hair is all twisted up. But it's okay. You know what? This is my first time walking out here in this park. They have this nice little pond here, and I was like, oh, this looks so nice and so tranquil. But what I did not consider is the fact that there are a bunch of ducks out here, which equals a bunch of duck shit. So I am like tiptoeing around duck droppings, and I want to be able to just talk freely without having to mind the ground that I'm walking on. I'm gonna go off the beaten path here because it looks like the other area of the park, not so close to the pond, has less crap. So, where do I begin? I will begin by letting you all know that I had my frozen embryo transfer teaching this morning. So if you watch my initial videos, I talked with you all about my fresh embryo transfer calendar. So that's basically what we went over today. My calendar for my frozen embryo transfer. And please, you guys, just bear with me with the huffing and puffing, trying to burn my little calories or whatever. So just bear with me. Y'all can talk about me or whatever you want to, but just bear with me. So I did my teaching this morning, and I received my calendar. Once I get maybe in the office and settle, I'll probably edit in a clip of the schedule. Might not, but with this round, I noticed that everything is pretty crystal clear and set in stone. So with the fresh cycle, there was a lot of, okay, well, we're gonna give you these medications, we're gonna monitor. It was a lot of checking in. Yeah, I would say checking in, right? So you would take the medications, you would come in, get blood work done. And I want to say I had maybe 3 or 4 appointments where I was going in and giving blood. This go round is not as much. There are only 2 appointments where I have to come in for an ultrasound. I didn't see where there was any blood work. I will double check on the calendar, but the only thing that I saw was 2 different ultrasound appointments. So that's awesome for me. I don't have to keep going to the office. I don't have to keep giving my blood. Lord have mercy. Oh, it's a dog park over here. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna have to bring my dogs. I think I knew that. I just didn't know that. So, I think I might have to get them neuter first, because I don't know, they be having fun, child. But anyway, so that is that. Everything is set. All of the appointments are set. All of the medications are set. There's no, that was the other thing with my fresh transfer. Like when you went in for the blood work and ultrasound, sometimes medications would change. So they would say, one thing would be on the calendar, and then they would be like, okay, well, based on, this last appointment, you're going to up this or down this. And it wasn't a lot for me. It wasn't a lot of change, but there were some changes. So it's sobering to be like, this is it. And I'm just going to follow these set of instructions. And this is it. Boom, boom, boom. Nothing changes. My nurse was very adamant about nothing changes. The same. So that is awesome. What else? So the medications that I had before won't be using those medications. So this cycle, they're completely suppressing my ovaries, completely suppressing everything. So what I'm going to be taking is the normal birth control. I was about to say apple cider vinegar, y'all. Not apple cider vinegar, Lord. A baby aspirin, birth control, a baby aspirin, and a prenatal vitamin. And then I'll start Lupron, which, my God, I just hope and pray it's not like an astronomical amount. But what she did say is that I'll get one vial, and that one vial will last me throughout the entire cycle. So I'm happy to know that. But it's Lupron, and then I'll take the estradiol, which I was taking that before. And then I'll be taking progesterone in oil, which before, when she said that, I kind of like flinched, like, oh my gosh. And so then she went into an explanation as to, the difference between, okay, well, I'll say this. When I did the fresh transfer, I did progesterone suppositories, and I was only on that for like maybe 5 days, maybe 5 days or something like that. Because as you know, I canceled the transfer. So you take the progesterone suppositories to help with the uterine lining, to keep it, nice and optimal. So you take it like, I think a little bit before, maybe right after the egg retrieval. Nonetheless, I hadn't been taking it, and then you take it, and then after transfer you continue to take it all the way through until they tell you to stop. That's one thing they say: you're gonna take these medicines until we tell you to stop. So so yes, I was taking suppositories, but I only took it like 4 or 5 days, so whatever. But she was saying with frozen, seeing as everything has been freaking suppressed, right? Like ovaries inactive, ovaries on sleep. They're wanting to, build everything up really nicely. And the oil, I guess, the oil version of it, instead of the progesterone suppositories, the oil version of it, I guess, does it better. So that was the rationale for that. So I'll be taking, like I said, Lupron, estradiol, and progesterone in oil, along with my baby aspirin, prenatal vitamin, and Yeah, baby aspirin prenatal. Well, y'all remember what I said before. I'm trying to walk and talk. So then later on, as I was in my teaching with my nurse, she was like, okay, so you have the MTHFR gene. And I was like, yeah, which surprisingly, that wasn't something that was brought up the first go round. Like, I can't imagine why that wouldn't have been something that was brought up the first go round. Nonetheless, she was like, okay, so you have the MTHFR gene. And I don't think I've explained this to you guys. I may have mentioned it in one of my earlier videos, but and that wasn't during the genetic counseling video that I did. It didn't come up there. I may have just like off chance said it in one of my earlier videos, but MTHFR stands for something really long. But essentially what it is I have a genetic mutation that makes it difficult, impossible maybe, to break down folic acid into a usable compound for my body. And I might be using the wrong words, but I'm just gonna, y'all just follow me. So we all, of course, need, folic acid, folate. But the folic acid that we eat, of course, is genetically modified, I guess. And it has to be broken down in the body to be folate, which is the usable part in the body. And I mean, foods naturally have folate or whatever. But nonetheless, my body just doesn't break it down. Just put it that way. And what ends up happening is, because it doesn't break it down, then it causes a buildup of homocysteine, which is like an amino acid that I want to say is that buildup of that amino acid links to like blood clotting or and miscarriage. And I'm really being very like all over the place with this, because it's like it's kind of difficult to comprehend. Well, at least for me, it's kind of difficult to comprehend because there's so many moving parts with it. But for the most part, just to keep it simple, the genetic defect is linked to miscarriage, blood clotting / miscarriage. So they want to start me on heparin, which when she said it and then I looked at it on the calendar, I was like, heparin? I'm like, that's a blood thinner. Like, what they want me on a blood thinner for? And so, of course, as she's talking and she's linking it back to that, it makes sense. So they're going to put me on heparin just to make sure I don't have any clotting. I thought that was what the baby aspirin was for. But I guess they want to like really, really make sure. So I'm fine with that. No worries, no problems. Let's see. I am excited that I'm not taking any medications that are like, because she was like, you're not taking anything that's going to grow any follicles or anything like that. Which to me, when I hear grow follicles, I hear my ovaries about to bust. And that's the reason why I was so sick during the fresh cycle. It's because, my body was producing a whole bunch of follicles, and my ovaries were expanding, and then when they went in to retrieve the eggs, there was all that fluid left behind, and that's what caused all of that. So I'm happy about that. So that's where we are with the calendar. I'm going to be doing a transfer on November the 18th, which I think I might have to do a separate video about that and how I feel about that. But yeah, I'll just do a separate video on that. But my transfer is November the 18th. I'm quite excited. So I have, all October, half November to whip this body into shape. And yeah, I am excited, y'all. And then let me tell you. So we were wrapping up the virtual call, and she said, okay, well, did they tell you how many embryos you have? I said, yes. I said, they told me 12. And she said, okay, well, you have 14. I was like, what? Shut the front door. And she was like, yeah, you have 14. And I said, well, how does that work? And she was like, maybe they said 12 because there were, 2 others that they were monitoring and they made it. So I was like, okay, yeah, go on ahead. My embryos be pushing through. Push through, embryo, push through. So I have 14, which, do I want to walk outside the park? Yeah, let me walk outside the park. I'm going to walk outside the park. I like walking in this area. I'm in Riverside in Jacksonville, and this area is just so nice, and it has a lot to look at, and there are a lot of shops down here, shops and restaurants and stuff, so it's really nice. Everybody comes out and walks. I used to, last year actually, I used to come out here and walk a lot. Because again, the scenery is so great and the weather is just amazing. So I'm gonna start that back up again, walking out here. There's actually another park. Can I go? I'm gonna go anyway. There is another park further down on the other side. I could have walked there. Yeah, I'm gonna walk there. I'm gonna walk to that park and let y'all see what it looks like. It's beautiful. It faces the St. John's River. It's a really nice park. I think it's the St. John's River. I'm almost positive it is. So I was just looking at a restaurant called Hawkers, and they're open. I didn't know they'd be open this. Well, I guess it ain't really all that early. It's probably 11 o'clock by now. Anyway, so I have 14 embryos. Let me try to hold the phone still so y'all won't look like y'all. Anyway, 14 embryos. And she did say this. She said that, see these cute little boutiques and stuff. She said, having that many is neither good nor bad. Because, there will be some embryos that look good, look good on the outside under a microscope, but chromosomally they're abnormal. So I was like, oh, okay, that's good. That's good that I do have that many, because there may be an off chance that when they do the transfer, one of them may not, make it. So she had asked me how many was I going to transfer, and I told her I was going to transfer 2, and she was like, okay, well, that's great. I'm definitely, the doctor, and I would definitely, recommend that, just in the off chance that one of them is abnormal and the other one isn't. At least one will implant and come to full term. So that is my hope. My hope is that I only have to do this once, because it's just a lot of manipulation with your body as far as medications is concerned. I'm not really too keen on taking medicines unless I really, really have to.
Total distance 1 mile. Total time 22 minutes and 14 seconds. Split pace 22 minutes 13 seconds per mile.
Okay. I have my run app going in the background. I don't know if y'all heard it, but it just told me that I reached a mile. So, yay. But yeah, I just don't like taking medicine unless I have to. Like I'm in serious pain, or my life depends on it. I really don't. So with all of this, it's just a lot of manipulation. Even with the Lupron, the nurse was telling me that you're gonna feel like you menopausal, hot flashes, headache, all that kind of stuff. Like, damn. Whatever. But the sacrifices you make for the things that you want, definitely not going to complain, but I am going to acknowledge how I feel about it. So that is where we are, everyone. Like I said, I may or may not add in like a couple of clips or something, or add on to this video a clip of my calendar and everything. But we are set to rock and roll. The other thing that I wanted to mention was, she said that she asked me if the billing department, my nurse asked me if the billing department sent me a cost sheet. And when she said that, I was like, damn, they're gonna charge me for this cycle too. Like, damn, like, I just feel like I already paid for a cycle, right? And the tail end of that cycle, I did not realize. So that should count for something. In other words, the second half of the monitoring that you do after the transfer, I didn't get to that part. So, like, I shouldn't have to pay for a whole, other transfer. But, and because it's like, it's a medical thing. It's not like I didn't show up to my appointment. It's not like, I did something stupid to mess up the cycle. I was literally ill. I was sick. So you shouldn't move forward with something and you're, what's the medical thing? Do no harm. Like, yeah, you shouldn't do that. So I shouldn't be punished for being sick. Anyway, but she did say, well, you probably don't owe anything. And that's the reason why, but I'll make sure that they send you a cost sheet that says 0. So I'm hoping 0. And I'm hoping that this other set of medications doesn't cost all that much either. I do have a little bit of money left over. I actually had started, of course I didn't anticipate this, so the money that I had left over, I started using it to pay back the loan that I had taken out. So now I'm like, shit. I should have held on to the money. And but whatever, it is what it is. I imagine it won't be too much. It's not like I can't afford it. I mean, I can afford it. It's whatever. So hopefully though, I don't have any extra fees on top of the medications and whatnot. So I'll give you all an update on whether or not I have to pay anything else out of the pocket. And I may even do a video, like a breakdown of just how much this is and how costly this is. And I feel like I am on like the, I won't say cheaper, but I'm on the inexpensive side. I feel like my transfer It's less costly than most. I say most. And I think it's one because the clinic is affordable. But I also think two, with my PCOS diagnosis, I think it makes it easier, the process at least, or at least the egg retrieval process and the medication necessary to do that. You know, because I have a lot of follicles. So, all right, so this is what I'm about to do. I have made it to the other park. I'll just show y'all what it looks like. And back there, that's the river. I'm gonna get a little closer. They have this statue. It's really nice, very inspiring. I forgot what they call it, but it's huge. It's a really huge park. It's still a little hot out here in Jacksonville, Florida, even though we're in fall. But when we do hit that like fall crisp weather, that's when I like to come out and walk and watch the sunrise. It's amazing. It's really beautiful out here. Okay, we're getting close. And after I show you guys this, I'm gonna let you go. So we got the bronze eagle there. Oof. Then we got that in memoriam, dedicated to the citizens of Florida who made the supreme sacrifice in the World War 1914 to 1918. Yeah. And then we have the water behind us. So yeah, it's really nice to come out here, do workouts, walk. As you can see, a lot of people walking. So that's it, y'all. All right, I am gone. I'm gonna focus on knocking out the rest of this walk this morning, and I will chit chat with you all later.